Hey guys, Jamie Cassidy here with Reptilian Disc Golf. Going to do an in the bag video for you today. I know a lot of people are really wondering what an advanced player's bag looks like when they putt like a beginner, so I'm here to show you. We're at Indian Camp Creek here in St. Louis. Just beat Josh by a couple strokes, so I'll show you what was in the winning bag. I'll start with my putt and approach discs. I carry 2 in the nutsack. I have 11 discs in here, so I try to keep things simple with molds. I've got a Link. It's my putting putter. For a long time I putted with Wizards, but I've been putting with the Link pretty well lately. Feels identical to a Wizard, but it's a little more low profile, so that's what I've been throwing for my putter. I also approach with that. And then my main approach / driving putter is a scale, so it's basically a Wizard OS. It flies just like a Wizard, but with less glide and more overstability. So this is great for forehands, backhands, rollers, pretty much any type of approach shot you need. I'll step it up to my mid-ranges. I have 3 mid-ranges, but 2 molds. So my least stable is actually one of my favorite discs I've ever thrown. I just picked this up a couple months back, and it's been a staple in my bag ever since. It's a West Side Sling. It's a straight disc that has an insane amount of high-speed stability with very little fade. So it flies like a beat-in mid-range right off the shelf. So I throw this a ton off the tee, approaches, anything that needs a lot of glide. I'm going to the Sling. Then I step it up to my favorite disc of all time, the Gila. This is basically a faster, more overstable rock. Works great on forehands, backhands. It'll fight headwinds. I carried in 2 plastics, a Fossil and an Armor. This Fossil one is decently seasoned, so it's pretty straight with a late pushing fade. And then the Armor is pretty overstable, will fight any wind, and it'll hold up nice to a forehand. I can throw it on forehand on a lot of lines. So the Gila is my go-to mid. It's what I sealed the deal with today in today's round on fighting a nice headwind and pushing it up to 18's basket. Does a great job for me. Next I'll do some fairway drivers. Again, I carry 2 molds of Speed 7 fairway drivers. Can't have a bag without a T-Bird. You know what a T-Bird does. It's phenomenal, straight disc. And then I pair that with 2 Tyrants. I have a really beat one and a fresh one. So my beat one flies a lot like an eagle. I can get it to turn, and it comes back with a nice hard fade. And I can forehand it pretty straight as well, and it'll push and have a late but sharp fade. So it's nice. And then I have a really fresh Tyrant in here as well that's basically brand new that I use for Firebird type lines. I use it for my most overstable driver in my bag. Forehands, just dropped it. Follow that up with a fresh Tyrant. This one's basically brand new. It's really overstable. I forehand it, backhand it into headwinds, and I like it for long panning overhand shots as well. So I always have a fresh Tyrant in the bag. And then I carry 2 intermediate speed / distance drivers. I have a Convict, which I like to use. This one's actually pretty understable, so I like to start it on hyzer and flip it to flat, and it can turn, or I can flip it to flat with fade. So a lot of players carry like a Thunderbird type disc. Well, this one's considerably more understable than that, but I still like it for nice distance with a tailwind and turnover or straight shots. It gets a lot of use in my bag, actually. I was shocked at first when I threw it with how understable it was, but it's actually pretty versatile. Then I round the bag out with a Raider. This to me is the distance driver for my arm. A lot of people use Destroyers, which for me were a smidge too overstable. The Raider will have a little turn for me out of the hand, but always have a nice fade. So I can throw it in all winds. It's reliable. It's comfortable to backhand. I can forehand it, and it does a nice job for me. I throw it a ton on long courses like this. Oh, and finally, one last disc, the Stego. Worst disc ever made, but you gotta have it. Thanks, guys.